welcome to the 10th annual John Dengate Memorial Concert. And Lane tells me this is the 4th one on Zoom, which is quite amazing that it's been that long in COVID time. And still happening, but not on the TV, apparently. So maybe it's not happening. So is everybody ready to go? How many people have we got ready to go? Put your hand up for a song. That's great, yeah. Anybody want to go first so they can go to the pub?
We've got an order, Max. We've got an order.
What was that, love?
We've got an order. Yeah, it's all. Lane's organised us.
Okay, great.
Okay. I believe. Okay, so that's you up first then, Sean.
No, we'll go Del first, I think.
No?
Hello.
Okay, sorry. You have organised it, but I didn't listen.
Doesn't listen to me.
Are you there, Dale?
Hello there, Max.
Hey, Dale.
Yeah.
Will you do the welcome?
I will indeed. Just to say, look, it is hard to believe that it's 10 years, but in other ways, it's like he really still hasn't gone. And I do want to make it very clear, because I remember when some of our other folky friends, so nearly all men, had passed on and died, or whatever you like to, however you like to describe it. And some of them were being spoken about as if they were sort of saints, and John sort of laughed about them. I won't mention them by name, but he said they were never saints. And I think John would feel the same, that he doesn't want to be among the saints. Lovely though to have you all here. It's like an extended family. And I did explain to a couple of new people who were joining us that it's not a formal concert. It's a bit more like sitting around your lounge room. Everybody has a chance to sing. Sometimes we all talk over each other, and Lane has to say, mute your button, don't join in, just when it's your turn. So here we go on another lovely occasion to all get together. There's too many of you to all welcome by name, but I do want to thank Lane, who does a tremendous job organising the Zoom. Thank you. And we did look early in the year, some of you might have realised, we tried to organise the live concert and the Zoom concert. We even had a booking over at the Carlisle Castle in Newtown, but we realised technologically and it just wouldn't work at all. And so we have our Zoom concert, so people from, I think we've got people in the US and the UK definitely watching, joining in, getting up at all hours. And as I say, once again, thank you, Lane. Thank you, Max, for being your usual wonderful, I know you're going to be wonderful, you're wonderful emceeing, casual, and getting us all started. So back to you both.
Thanks, Dale.
Thanks, Dale.
That's really lovely. Okay, so we've got a starter. Someone want to put their hand up to kick us off?
I think Sean's going. I think we had organised for another Dengate.
Yeah.
Sean,
I am happy to kick off, but if there's anyone that needs to go, or, you know, I will run with the order, but if we need a starter, I'm more than happy to kick off.
That'd be great, Sean.
Yeah, look, and I know Mum has just thanked yourself, Lane and Max, but look, I have to do that as well. What you guys do, apart from the beautiful friendship that you've given the family, which cannot be measured, but what you do each year, this is so much fun. And I couldn't even send Lane a WhatsApp video today without sort of getting it all mixed up. And I was having conversations with the wrong person, saying, so, you know, and you make this look easy. I know it's not. So thank you both.
Are you talking now, Sean?
Hey, give me 2 secs. I'm going to grab a guitar.
Great. Thanks, Sean. That's lovely. I'll tell you what's really beautiful is how Sean is now embracing music and writing these songs, what now seems at least yearly, but I imagine maybe more than yearly.
I am, what I discover is the songs come out easily. I just can't play the guitar or sing. which is a bit of a minor detail. If I'd only started working on that a little earlier, but
No, it's never
anyway.
bothered me, Sean.
Yeah.
Look, I've got the first song I want to do is ICAC released their findings about Gladys and Darryl Maguire, the Wagga MP, and this song's a little bit about how you mix or the dangers of mixing love and money. Gladys, I love you, and there are things for me you can do. In Wagga, we like guns, but we are desperately short of funds. The shooters need a clubhouse, and the musicians are as quiet as a mouse. It would really hit the right chord if you could pay for a concert hall. Like the Roman Empire of old, Wagga wasn't built in a day, but a Colosseum or two and chariot racing will be on display. Darryl, I love you, but would a stadium do? Despite the attention from ICAC, I'll throw money at Wagga, that's a fact. Like the Roman Empire of old, Wagga wasn't built in a day, but a Colosseum or two and chariot racing will be on display. Darryl, I've got some bad news. Your days as my boyfriend are few. My love for you was blind, and as a premier, I must resign. My love for you was blind, and as a premier, I must resign.
Beautiful.
Listen, I've got one more. It's short and sweet.
Sure, I was just going to
Take
say
as long as you like.
your dad would have said,
You loose. This song's about the National Rifle Association, the NRA. It's an American context, so please forgive the American references. But the idea is, it's how a person in the States where these mass shootings occur almost on a daily basis, how they deal with that. It's called Will I Survive? What's the only thing that stops a bad person with a gun? That is a loaded question with which the NRA has fun. But please don't try and tell me the way we stop this shooting spree is to load up all our citizens with defense-grade armory. I will survive, but for how long? When my children go to school, my fears start growing strong. The Second Amendment gives me the right to bear my arms and to shoot at anyone I like. That's how I solve my qualms. Now I am afraid, I am petrified, as the NRA member stands by my side. He fires bullets in the air, searching for somebody to shoot. When Donald Trump drives by, he gives the Nazi salute. I will survive, but for how long? When my children go to school, my fears start growing strong. The Second Amendment gives me the right to bear my arms and to shoot at anyone are they? That's how I solve my qualms. The NRA member said, I don't like Muslims or Jews, blacks, whites or Asians, or people wearing shiny shoes. Don't like people who are short, don't like them if they're tall. I need an automatic weapon and I need to shoot them all. Will I survive? Thank you all very much.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Good on you, Sean.
We'll have to send that over. Get that
Well
over to the White House. That's great.
Send it to Trump. Can you send it to Trump with your technology?
Oh my God.
I have to go through Lane.
Yeah,
even, then,
me too.
No worries. No worries.
even then, it might go through China's firewalls. So
It might not go that far.
That's great, Sean. Good on
thanks
you, mate.
very much for letting me do that.
Good on you. You got any more?
I have, but you don't want to hear. You don't want to
Oh, we
hear
would
anymore.
hear
more.
Yeah, go on. Two more.
Let's move on to some quality acts. So we'll.
Well, you want to do one a bit later then?
Yeah, you have a think about it. You can always come back.
Yeah. Come back for your second gig. Good on you, Sean. Okay, now we've got a new starter. And I've got a list here, but it's not a list in order. I'll just call some names out. If anyone's ready?
Or you can put your hand up.
Yeah. Anyone want to put their hand up? Doesn't look
No,
like
not
it.
yet. Not yet.
I've got Lockie's name here, but Lockie's probably not even in the country.
Yeah.
Is Lockie in Australia? Do you know where he is, Dale?
Look, he lost his car keys, and I think he's
Oh,
lost.
well, that's a good
Yeah,
excuse.
That's what they all
Yeah,
say.
Yeah,
yeah, you can't sing when you've got no car keys.
Yeah.
We've actually,
Move on.
I
Actually,
spoke to him yesterday.
oh, there you go, Patty.
Yeah, I spoke to him yesterday, and because I wanted to see if he wanted, because I got together with him, and we were going to do Expect the Trifecta together, and I think there's a Sydney Folk Festival thing, a tribute session to John, that he wants to kind of do something for that, but yeah, I think when he just wasn't that keen on the Zoom, to be honest, and
That's fair enough.
yeah,
Can't understand that.
yeah. So anyway, and if I was sitting in his backyard, we were trying to play something, it would have sounded pretty terrible. So I think he decided to give it a miss today. But anyway, yeah, he sounded well.
So what you're saying, Patty, is that you're going to do songs yourself, and then you're going to do the songs that Lachlan could have done.
Well, actually, no, because I thought I've actually heard online a really beautiful version of Expect a Trifecta. I'm not sure who sang that, but it's fantastic. And I thought, I better not butcher it in case someone else is planning to sing it today. So I thought the easiest thing I could do was just do a song that I wrote for Scott Morrison, which is kind of in the political vein anyway. And I don't know, you might love it, you might hate it, but I think John would have hated it. It has a bit too much rhythm, but I think he would have liked the lyrics.
Do it, Paddy. Go for it.
As long as it's in tune.
Yeah, go for it.
Just sing it in tune, buddy, and you'll be okay.
Oh no, that's the hard bit, Max. You know that.
Well, John always said the never explain, never apologize. Is that right?
Yeah.
I actually came to. I reckon you're sounding very much like John, Sean. Actually, this thing about you can't sing is rubbish, and your voice is sounding fantastic. So, anyway, so this is the song I wrote. Oh, sorry, mate. What was that?
I just was saying, if you check the sound in those headphones.
Yeah, so this I wrote this on election day last year because I was so scared that he was going to get in, and Scott Morrison was going to get back in, and it goes like this. The work of the Parliament continued today. The guy from security.
Guitar's not working, huh?
Can you hear it?
Guitar's not working, mate.
You can't hear the guitar.
Can't
Nah.
hear the guitar.
Oh.
Bloody technology. You could just
Oh,
do it
mate.
a cappella.
Have
Oh,
you got
yeah,
the original
it would
sound on?
die. I do have original sound on. Is that a problem?
No,
No,
that's
that's-
what you're
that's what
supposed
you
to
want.
have.
Mm.
When you're playing an instrument, you're supposed to have original sound on, but the
Mhm.
guitar was not coming through at all.
Oh, well, I don't know what to do about that.
Have you got the guitar plugged into something?
No, it's
Oh.
just sitting here, right? Here it is,
Oh,
right next to the mic.
okay. Give it a strum again and right at the mic.
Well, what is it doing something to?
Oh yeah, you can hear it. It's just not very loud.
Is that the problem?
Yeah.
No, Paddy, I'll tell you what you do. Say testes, 1, 2.
No,
Testes, 1, 2.
1, 2.
don't do that.
That's how it
I'll
works.
tell you what. I think maybe it was just too low and it's not picking it up. There you go. So I'm sort of serenading you now.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh no, wait, sorry, Patty. Another one here who's a genius says, from Dan says that it's the Zoom. Sorry, Dan, do you want to explain that? Where's he gone?
Is it my settings?
I think it's your Zoom settings.
Yes, sometimes the original sound gets turned off. Check the top left of your window.
Oh no, it's definitely on. But there's all these other little check boxes like high fidelity music mode, echo cancellation,
goodness.
stereo audio, all this nonsense.
Untick echo cancellation if it's ticked.
Untick that, yeah. Stereo audio,
No.
I'll untick that. High fidelity music mode.
Yes.
Does that sound better?
You'll
No.
hear it? No.
What? Just skip me.
Okay, want to come back to you?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, you want to have a fiddle around with the settings and we'll come back to you.
Oh, hang on. Maybe automatically adjust microphone volume. What about that?
Oh. No.
No. Okay. All right. Forget it. Ditch me.
Sorry, we'll
Sorry,
come back to you,
guys.
Patty.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So who wants to go next? That's your job.
Yeah. We've got the Rowiths on here. Are the Rowiths in the house?
Yeah, yeah, we can go now.
Oh, good on you, Jason.
Hello, Alec.
Hello. We thought,
Sorry.
a bad thing
Chloe,
happened.
Jason,
Hey,
Hey, everyone.
good to see you.
yeah, I mentioned in the chat, Sean, that your dad would have liked the classical verses in your first song, eh? Classical verse.
Yeah.
We thought we'd do the Cunnamulla or the Queensland medley, is it? But we don't want to step on anyone else's toes. If someone wants to do it, we can do something different.
No, I don't think anyone else has grabbed it. So
Some choruses? Okay. Speaking of classical verse.
Oh, good.
Oh, it's a long way to Cunnamulla. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to Cunnamulla on the River Warrego. I know there's been a gerrymander, and I know it isn't fair, but I have to rely on Cunnamulla. They vote for me. So this is a bit where we stop and say, does that sound okay? Someone give us a thumbs up. Cool, all right. Oh, Mr. Bjarke Peterson, he's a genius, it's true. Oh, Mr. Bjarke Peterson, he makes 5 votes equal to. He divides up the whole electorate, subtracts Aunt Edna's twin. Then he might multiply as a rural fraction. Yeah, that's how he wins. Everybody, it's a long way to Cunnamulla. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to Cunnamulla on the River Warrego. I know there's been a gerrymander, and I know it isn't fair, but I have to rely on Connemara. They vote for me there.
Oh, here is your ticket to the Senate floor. That's guile, guile, guile. Pack up your pumpkins and your portmanteau and goose step around the pile. Tell the mob in Canberra I walked you down the aisle. So here is your nepotistic ticket.
Flow, sing Heil, Heil, Heil. It's a long way to Connemara. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to Connemara. On the river Warrego. I know there's been a gerrymander, and I know it isn't fair, but I have to rely on Connemara. They vote for me there. Classical verse. Old Caligula the Roman, so the history textbooks say. He put his horse into the Senate, where he always voted nay. But a horse is still considered useful on the river Warrego. So the ancient Romans got an old grey mare, and Queensland got flow. It's a long way to Connemara. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to Connemara on the river Warrego. I know there's been a gerrymander, well, I know it isn't fair, but I have to rely on Connemara. Well, they vote for me there.
Why not go to sunny Queensland? Why not venture forth? Why not join the country party in that lovely land up north? Ignore the electorate in Brisbane, to hell with Moreton Bay. As long as you win in Connemara, then you'll be okay.
It's a long way to Connemara. It's a long way to go. It's a long way to Connemara on the river Warrego. Well, I know there's been a gerrymander, and I know it isn't fair, but I have to rely on Connemara. They vote for me there. Farewell and adieu to your Premier of Queensland. Farewell and adieu and goodbye to Sir Joe. You useless old bastard, too long you have lasted. Now your mates have decided that you have to go. You ranted and roared at the reds and the greenies. You ranted and roared at the black and the white. You postured and strutted just like Mussolini. Now your mates have betrayed you, and that serves you right.
You pineapple vandal, they've snuffed out your candle. Get back to your peanuts, you senile old sod. Take Flo and your pumpkins, you great pair of bumpkins. You can start playing lawn bowls and stop playing God.
Oh, you ranted and roared at the reds and the greenies. You ranted and roared at the black and the white. You postured and strutted just like Mussolini. Now your mates have betrayed you, and that serves you right. Now you Lutheran pastor, come poor disaster. You darling Downs despot, you king away clown. Get back to your tractor, you seventh-rate actor. You pious, hypocritical, adjective, noun. You ranted and roared at the reds and the greenies. You ranted and roared at the black and the white. You postured and strutted just like Mussolini. Now your mates have betrayed you, and that serves you right.
Stick that up, you jumper, you old Bible thumper. You second-hand Hitler, you goose-stepping goose. The poisonous old cane toads in gone down the drain mode like a dribble of Bundaberg sugarcane juice.
You ranted and roared at the reds and the greenies. You ranted and roared at the black and the white. You postured and strutted just like Mussolini. Now your mates have betrayed you, and that serves you right.
Boris?
You
That's-
wanna-
we can't- we can't have this one.
Can I just say there, that was great, by the way. Good to hear Cunnamulla again.
Hear your voice,
But
Russell.
I don't know if it's true or not, but John once said to me that after he wrote that song, he checked up on the politics of Cunnamulla, and
Okay.
Cunnamulla had actually voted Labor.
I've heard. Well, I've also heard that the gerrymander. Someone out there will know better than me, but I've also heard the gerrymander was a Labor construction too. But there
I
you
think
go.
it was actually, yeah.
Oh, blasphemer.
Oh,
Blasphemer. You're not saying
I
that.
know.
I remember him saying it. I haven't looked it up. I should look it up and just find out, but it didn't matter anyway.
No. No.
It didn't alter the song or the intent or anything of it. It just might have
No,
been.
I think it was the other way around, Russ. I think Dengate altered politics.
Never let the truth stand in the way of a good song.
No,
No.
it's still a good song.
History that you are.
John mourned. John mourned the loss of Sir Joe more than anyone I know. That's for sure.
that was great, Jason and Chloe. I enjoyed that.
Oh, thank you.
Hey,
Thanks.
I've been out searching for John's book. I got out, so I'd have it ready here, and I can't find it. Anyhow, hello to you and everyone.
Hi.
Have you got another one for us, guys?
We could, I guess, if we could.
Would you like one?
Should we come back again
Yeah.
later?
You can come back later if you like.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe let's do that and just make sure we can get through.
You
to
guys
the
run
next
such a
one.
tight ship. You just tell us what you'd like, and we can sing or not sing.
No problem. That's my kind of ship. Okay, so anyone ready for the next one? You want to put your hand up?
Yep, we
You
could.
want- Oh, Margaret,
Margaret.
Yep.
Hey, Margaret.
Oh, Margaret's coming in. Okay.
I think. Yeah, Let's go.
I'll unmute myself. Yeah. This-
Hello, Margaret.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you all. Yes.
Good on you.
That was brilliant. He's a real wordsmith, wasn't he, John? In fact, this song of childhood that he wrote was so much like my early childhood. Sometimes I'm singing, I thought, I've got to hang on to myself. I'm going to burst into
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
where,
beauty.
take a deep breath here. Where have the days of my childhood gone? I've got the right tune. Time
mate.
has plundered the years, stolen the gift of golden days. I'm making up my own tune, I think. Here, let's. Where have the days of my childhood gone? Time has plundered the years,
Margaret, would you
stolen my gift. Yeah,
yeah, would
go
you
on.
like a bit of a hand if we all started?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Where are the days of my childhood?
Childhood gone. Good on you.
Hi.
Time has plundered the years. We won't be synchronised. That's the only thing.
Now, you take it now. You've got
Yeah,
the
there. Thanks, Gail. That's great. Where have the days of my childhood gone? Still haven't got in here. Time has plundered the years, stolen my gift of golden days, left me with ashes and tears. I've wandered along the lonely road, over the paddocks I've run. drunk with a summer's cicada's song, drugged with freedom and sun. Take me back to my fibro house in a suburb carved from the bush. Give me an acre of lawn to cut and a rusty old mower to push. Give me a summery Saturday just after the war was won, with Dad and my uncles drinking beer, sprawled on the grass in the sun. They spoke with a curious, proud elan. Their laughter was careless and free, fresh from the battles against Japan. They seemed immortal to me. But how can an innocent boy discern what is malleable and true? Malleable, false, or true? Their mortal steps are faltering now, and mine are faltering still. Bring back the bat and the worn cork ball, and we'll bowl at an old wooden case. She'll jump and she'll turn off the asphalt road. She'll come at a lively pace. But barefoot, careless and undismayed, we'll drive and hammer and glance. But the ball lies lost in the tangled years. My hands couldn't stand the chance. Oh, the chance. Finally got it. I was thinking about, that's what we used to run around the asphalt road with all the kids out in the street and the wooden fruit case jumping around when the ball hit it. Oh, so many of those little things are so much like our life, early life. Yeah. Finally got it. I've been singing it to myself here and had it all right. But
Margaret, you must have lived in a very upmarket suburb if you had asphalt roads.
well, it was only,
They were all dirt roads.
Now this was in Gladesville. Yeah.
Oh, we dreamed of an asphalt one.
Oh.
Just near the Field of Mars Cemetery, and us kids used to run around the bush barefoot. And I remember I walked on a snake one day, a red-bellied black snake. I can still remember. I was only about 6. Okay, lovely to hear you. Pardon?
Was that near Baronia Park, Margaret?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Monash Road, Lyndhurst Avenue, Baronia Road.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother lived there too. It was a great spot.
Right, yeah, it was. Mum used to say to me, "We'll never get shoes to fit you, Margaret, if you don't put your shoes on. Put your shoes on." Like that. And I have got great big wide feet now. Anyhow, looking forward to hearing the rest of your songs.
You got another one for us, Margaret?
Not at the moment. I can.
All right, maybe later.
Like waiting for the 20 past 4 to arrive.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm looking forward to hearing others.
Oh, good on you, Margaret. Thanks very much. We've got someone with a hand up now.
Yep, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry, is it?
Jerry?
Hey, Jerry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd be happy to go. Just trying to exit full screen. That's good. And then I can get the words up and then I can be all right. Yeah. There was one more thing I wanted to do. I want to put Phil Oakes in the background.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, Phil. Good work, Jerry.
It's a shame he's mirror reversed. There's nothing much I can do about that. But
He's beautiful either way, isn't he?
he is. And he wrote a song called When I'm Gone.
Yes.
Which I think John Dengate would have agreed with the philosophy expressed in this song.
Yes, for sure.
There's no place in this world where I'll belong when I'm gone. and I won't know the right
From
from
the
the
wrong
wrong when I'm
when I'm
gone.
gone.
And you won't find me singing on this song when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. And I won't feel the flowing of the time when I'm gone. All the pleasures of love will not be mine when I'm gone. My pen won't pour a lyric line when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. And I won't breathe the bracing air when I'm gone. And I can't even worry about my cares when I'm gone. Won't be asked to do my share when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. And I won't be running from the rain when I'm gone. And I can't even suffer from the pain when I'm gone. Can't say who's to praise and who's to blame when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. Won't see the golden of the sun when I'm gone. And the evenings and the mornings will be one when I'm gone. Can't be singing louder than the guns when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. All my days won't be dances of delight when I'm gone. And the sands will be shifting from my sight when I'm gone. Can't add my name into the fight when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. And I won't be laughing at the lies when I'm gone. And I can't question how or when or why when I'm gone. Can't live proud enough to die when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. There's no place in this world where I'll belong when I'm gone. And I won't know the right from the wrong when I'm gone. And you won't find me singing on this song when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it. I guess I'll have to do it. Guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. When I'm Gone by Phil Oakes. Thank you.
Beautiful rendition, Jerry.
Thank you.
It's a great song, isn't it?
Great choice.
And I noticed that your tongue wasn't bungling through Georgia, which is a great.
I come from a long way from Georgia, so I don't think
Good, very good.
that ain't likely to be a problem for me.
Just as a matter of interest, on Friday night at the Illawarra Folk Club, Maury Mulheron got together a band and they did the Bob Dylan, the last really folk CD or record that he did. And he's now working on, which I'm pretty certain he did, at the National the last National, he did a Phil Oakes memorial concert. And naturally, of course, that would have been one of the songs, but he's planning it again so that we can do it. I think it's 75 that Phil hanged himself, unfortunately, very sadly. And Maury's a great friend of Sunny, which is his sister, I think. Sunny Oakes.
Yeah, that's right.
And she was out here a year or so ago, but I didn't get a chance to meet her, but she came out and stopped with Maury. So
Mm.
keep an eye out for that. It was a great concert on Friday night, by the way. But keep an eye out for Maury getting the whole Phil Oakes thing together, because it will be a great concert. He knows all the songs already.
Wow.
And Russ, he did a show years ago at the New Theatre called One Word We. About
He did
Pete
indeed.
Seeger.
Yeah,
That
he
had a lot
did.
of Phil Oakes songs in it. That's a
Yeah,
great
but
show.
I got a lovely photo of Maury and Pete Seeger sitting on the banks of the Hudson River.
Really?
That's where he lived. Yeah, because when I was over there 3 years ago, my granddaughter was born there, and I said, I want to go somewhere, and my daughter said, I said, I want to go on a train trip, and she said, oh, why don't you go up to Beacon? And I didn't know. I just said, yeah, that sounds good. She said, it's a lovely trip. It's up by the river. And when I got to Beacon, you get out of the train, and there it is. There's a Pete Seeger and what was his wife's name? Mental block.
Peggy.
No, the Peggy's his sister. She's Japanese name, like Tonya. No. Anyway, and it's a special park. That's where they live. They actually lived in Beacon. And it was really sort of, it was like walking and you discovered something, and it was just a big deal, you know. Just I was so pleased that I went to Beacon, because as you said, it was a good train trip. When I got there, it was where he lived.
Good on you, Russ. Right, just getting back to Jerry for a minute. Have you got another one for us, Jerry?
No, I think I'll leave it at that. Thanks.
Okay, well, if we've got time at the end, we might call you again.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, Jerry. Good man.
Stacey.
And we've got Stacey with us, have we? Stacey Crutchfield there.
Hi there. Yeah, here I am.
Good
all the
on you,
way
Stacey.
over nighttime here in New Brunswick, or pretty close to New Brunswick. So I was outside before, and I was hoping you might be able to see the big moon in the background. It's beautiful here, but it was going to be a bit windy. So I thought you might.
Whereabouts are you at the moment, Stacey?
I'm in a town called New Brunswick, which is the hill country, just about 2.5 hours outside of Houston. And it's a bit similar to the Southern Highlands there, I guess, in that people come here to escape the heat, but there's nowhere to escape the heat at the moment in North America, as you're probably seeing.
Oh, man.
Thought you looked very hot.
I lived in Austin, Texas for 1.5 years.
I was just going to message you to say, where did you spend your time if it wasn't in Georgia?
Georgia.
Well, I'm from New York City originally, but I did spend 1.5 years in Texas.
All right. Well, I'm really enjoying it here. And there's been a lot that I'm always reminded of about John, and especially thinking of him with the music that's here. It's right near Green, Texas, which is a fantastic live venue. That's the oldest dance hall in the United States, or at least in Texas. And they have live music all the time. I'm on a property way out and looking after, it's only a 20-minute drive, but looking after a beautiful dog and spending a bit of time here, just sort of quiet. But I have been getting into town once in a while. And a book I came across at the house is Kinky Friedman.
Oh, Kinky Friedman, yeah.
He's from this area, and there was something in here that just sort of thinking about John and thinking about my dad and climate, weather, all that sort of stuff that everybody thinks of. John was so timely about so much, and he was so considered, and he liked to, share stories with my dad and reflect on what was happening around the world in politics. And he had also shared a lot of stories with me about his experience in Brisbane with US forces, and just was always, such a wealth of knowledge. So I've come across this legend of the Texas bluebonnet, and where I am is Comanche as well as other Indian land. And so I thought I might read it out. Once long ago in the land of the Comanche, there was a great drought and famine and pestilence. The dancers danced to the sound of the drums and prayed for rain. They watched and waited for the healing rains and danced again. No rains came. Among the children of the tribe, there was a small girl named She Who Is Alone. She watched the dancers and held her warrior doll. Her doll wore beaded leggings and a headdress of brilliant blue feathers from the bird who cries JJ. She loved this doll very much. Her doll was the only thing she had left from the happy days before the Great Famine took her parents and her grandparents from her. As she who is alone sat and held her doll, the shaman or wise man came to speak to the people. He told them that the great spirits were unhappy. He said that the people had been selfish, taking everything from the earth and giving nothing in return. He said that the people must make a sacrifice and must make a burnt offering of their most prized possession. The shaman said the ashes of this offering should be scattered to the home of the four winds, north, south, east, and west. When this sacrifice was made, the drought would cease, life would be restored to the land. The people talked amongst themselves. The warriors were sure it was not their bow that the great spirits wanted. The women knew it was not their special blanket. She who is alone looked at her doll, her most valued possession. She knew what the great spirits wanted, and she knew what she must do. While everyone slept, she took her warrior doll and one stick that burned from the teepee fire and made her way to the hill where the shaman had spoken. "Oh, great spirit," she called out, "here is my warrior doll, the only thing I have left from my happy days with my family. It is my most valued possession. Please accept it." Then she made a fire and thrust her precious doll into it. When the flames died down, she scooped up a handful of ashes and scattered them to the four winds, north, south, east, and west. Then her cheeks wet with tears, she lay down and fell asleep. The first light of morning woke her, and she looked out over the hills. Stretching from all sides where the ashes had fallen, the ground was covered with flowers, beautiful blue flowers, as blue as the feathers in the hair of her beloved doll. Every spring after that, the great spirits remembered the sacrifice of a very small girl and filled the hills and valleys of the land now called Texas with the beautiful blue flowers. And this is so to this very day. I hope you get something from that. The bluebonnets I haven't seen yet. This is my first time in Texas as a grown up in the summertime. So I'm glad I got my year in Alice Springs to really get me used to this weather. It's a bit more humid, but just reading that, it reminded me of John, and I'm sure you're getting the blossoms of jasmine coming through now. And he loved nature and we miss him. And I hope you liked hearing that. Thank you.
It was beautiful. Thanks very much, Stacey. And the only thing I know about Kinky was that he had a band called the Texas Jew Boys, which is a nice name.
Wouldn't be surprised. There's plenty of, off the cuff stuff going on here. The music's out of control and I'm going to hear some. And yeah, it's really, as we know, it's different over here and it's really interesting to see what's happening. I've got the TV on and people are reserved to talk about, it's a real shyness to actually engage about politics. And sometimes when it happens, it's almost like it's a defensive, combative approach that people take from the get-go. So especially with the indictment, I know my dad would just be whooping and hollering, and John and he would have been chatting, and Dale and my mum as well, to sort of see what's going to happen. So hopefully, as Sean sang about as well, accountability counts and we have to hold them to what they do.
Yeah. Love you, Stacey. Thanks very much. Lovely story.
Mary Jane, yeah.
I just wanted to say something. Folk music and the folk scene and all us people are not about one-upmanship, but I can one-upmanship. I only spent 6 weeks there, but I was born in Texas. That's all I wanted to say. I'll sing later.
Nice one. Thank you. I was just going to say, Dad might want to share the info, but talking about Phil Oakes, as you know, we always should be. Mr. Johnny Clough's birthday is coming up. Did you want to say something about that?
Yeah, Johnny's been, as probably a few of you know, he's been crook a fair bit lately, and he collapsed, ended up in hospital, and came home with a different medication, and he felt a lot better. He wasn't going to have a birthday at all, but now he's decided to have a party. So he's having a good sized party at the Trinity Hotel where he had his birthday last year. He's turning 92. And you guys are definitely welcome. It's Johnny's shout as well, which is a nice incentive. Yeah, so it's 2 o'clock till 5 o'clock on August the 20th.
So it's the same day as the folk.
Same day as the folk day down at the Gaelic Club, which starts 3:15, I think. And Johnny's is 2 o'clock till 5 o'clock. So it'll overlap a little bit, but I'm sure Johnny will end up down there after his party. And he's not drinking at the moment, but who knows what'll happen on his birthday. But he'd love to see all you guys that know him and people that don't know him as well.
Especially if you're bringing a Phil Oakes song.
Yes.
There.
Oh, you have to bring a Phil Oakes song. Sorry, I meant to say that. You can't come unless you've got a Phil Oakes song to do. Or just say the word Phil Oakes. That's the secret message, the password to get in at the door, Phil Oakes.
Want to see hands up next?
Yeah, so we've got a starter now for our next performance. Chris Clark.
Here he is.
Good on you, Chris. How you going?
Oh, we're going pretty well. I've got a couple of shiny bums with me here.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's always nice to have a shiny bum.
Yeah. So, but only a couple. So we're going to be performing as a bit of cheek.
Oh, beautiful. I was only going to say then I can only see 2 cheeks on the screen at the moment.
There's another one.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
We can stand.
And we can.
There you go.
And our cue was accountability, because we got a song about accountability.
Yeah, good on you.
Which is our song, Ministerial Responsibility to Not Responsible. So we'll just push our chairs back and it's a bit easier. Yeah, just adjust the view a bit.
There we go.
This will make us look even taller with the end.
Robodet has featured.
I'll just turn it off, man.
Yeah, Royal Commissions you just can't refuse. Na. Stand and swore me, raising my right hand. I said I'm not responsible, not responsible. I won't answer for the things I do. I said I'm not responsible, not responsible. That's all I can say to you. Boom, 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 boom. My department is the one to blame. Yeah. I will drop them in his every name. Yeah. You can stand them here and make them squirm. My claims of innocence are firm. I said I'm not responsible, not responsible. I won't answer for the things I do. I said I'm not responsible, not responsible. That's all I can say to you. Boom, 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 boom. My own office are my alibi. Yeah. They made sure the last to know was I. Yeah. Scrutinized each document to see that everyone read it but me. I said I'm not responsible, not responsible. I won't answer for the things I do. I said I'm not responsible, not responsible. That's all I can say to you. Bum bum, bum bum. Solidarity of cabinet, yeah, was the obligation that we met, yeah. Minutes gave us lies we had to tell. Unnatural, I did it so well. I said I'm not responsible, not responsible. I won't answer for the things I do. I said I'm not responsible. Not responsible. That's all I can say to you. I said I'm not responsible. Not responsible. That's all I can say to you. And we're going to do it.
Really great, guys. Thanks very much for a bit of cheek. Very, very nice indeed. What was it called? Ministerial responsibility.
Yes, we've had various versions of that for different events.
Yeah.
That was our version we wrote for Robodeck.
That was version 5.
Yeah.
We've done.
That's good. Yeah.
Other versions in the future, unfortunately.
Yeah, on other issues they come up.
Sadly, it'll keep going. Yes. Thanks very much, guys. Now we're just going to check back with Paddy Manning, see how he's going with his technology. You there,
I don't
Paddy?
know what the problem is. So I
There's
think
no problem.
Well, no, it doesn't seem like it. It looks like original sound for musicians is on, and so I'm sort of at a loss. But I'm enjoying listening.
Well, do you want to just play it and we'll just pretend we can hear the guitar?
No, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do the Tab Punters song. Not as good as John Thompson, but I'll do it.
Okay, you can do it, Paddy.
Because no one else seems to be doing this one, are they?
No, go for it.
Okay. Each Saturday morning I crawl out of bed, hungover from Friday's excess, feeling crook in the stomach and crook in the head, with a mountain of sins to confess. But then I remember it's race day again. I collect up my clothes from the floor. I tune into Marnie's selections at 10. The adrenaline's pumping once more. At Warwick Farm, Randwick or Rosehill they race. It's a sign of our moral decay. But wipe that superior look off your face. I expect a trifecta today. I have a quick piss, I give breakfast a miss. A wallet and form guide I grab. Then I suddenly bolt like a 2-year-old colt away down the road to the tab. It's number of units and number of race. The numbers spin round in my brain. And I stand there blaspheming and cursing the place. The barrow is broken again. At Warwick Farm, Randwick or Rosehill they race. It's a sign of our moral decay. But wipe that superior look off your face. I expect a trifecta today. Oh, the long shots are rough and the favourites are short, and I never know what's running dead. So I ring up my mate, but he got home so late his mother won't rouse him from bed. Ron Quinton could win on a horse made of tin, so I back everything that he rides. And the big Melbourne Grey is a good thing each way, and a couple of others besides. At Randwick and Rosehill and Warwick Farm, Randwick or Rosehill they race. It's a sign of our moral decay. But wipe that superior look off your face. I expect a trifecta today. A short break for grub, then I'm into the pub, and I stand there and weep in my booze. For the horses I back veer all over the track, and they lose and they lose and they lose. Oh, seek not escape in the gambling, my friend, though life may be humdrum and drab. Seek solace in psalms or in fair ladies' arms, but never go into a tab. That's it.
Beautiful.
Can you hear it? Am I singing into a void?
Yeah, no, beautiful.
Thanks, guys.
Good on you, Paddy. Now, I was just going to ask if Bob Murray's connected with us at the moment. You there, Bob?
There he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his hand up.
Yep. So you just got to do the unmute.
Yep. You got
There
me
he
now?
is. Yep, got you now.
got you, mate.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, well, I I learned this song before that book of John was published. What was it called? My Shout. I actually learned it from a tape I'd recorded from John in the 70s before I moved up to Bathurst at the Bush Music Club. And any case, this is Big Ben Pie. I haven't sung it for ages, but at any rate, here it is.
Yeah.
When I was only 15, I was silly as could be. Me father called me. Can I just start that again a bit lower? When I was only 15, I was silly as could be. Me father called me over, and he says to me, if you want the light of wisdom to glisten in your eyes, you'll have to cheer for bitter beer and eat meat pies. All among the gravy, all among the crust. Show a little faith, boys, show a little trust. I can eat a respectable tally myself whenever I like to try. I'm known from here to Blacktown as the Big Ben Pie. I've bathed myself in gravy. When the centre starts to sag, I've washed them down with Tui's and cans of Reese's. Washed them down with Reese's and cans of Tui's flag. Just cast your eyes upon me stride, you'll see the greasy stain. And hand me the tomato sauce, and here we go again. Hey, all among the gravy, all among the crust. Show a little faith, me boys, show a little trust. I can do a respectable tally myself whenever I like to try. I'm known from here to Blacktown as the Big Ben Pie. I've had 'em stony cold, and I've had 'em scalding hot. I've had 'em at the cricket ground while sitting on me bluff. I've waved me pie in triumph when the Tigers led to 0. I've thrown 'em at the coppers on the scoreboard hill. All among the gravy, all among the crust. Show a little faith, boys, show a little trust. I can eat a respectable tally myself whenever I like to try. I'm known from here to Blacktown as the Big Ben Pie.
Good on you, Bob. That's a classic, that one. An absolute classic. Now, I'm wondering if is Dan Kelly with us at the moment?
Yeah.
Are you ready to go, Dan? Yeah.
Right, yep. Great to have you back again, Dan.
Well, can you hear me now? Awesome.
Coming live from the
Opera House.
harbour.
Yeah.
I was
Live
in
at the Opera House.
in Sydney for the Alistair Hewlett Memorial back in January.
Yeah.
But, I'm actually from Yass. It was good to hear Phil Oakes mentioned. I'm playing a festival in Ohio in October, and I found out that Phil went to uni there and did a big concert at the Oval. So I'm hoping to get there and sing some songs. The one I'm going to do is called the Robo-Det Talking Blues. Obviously a copy of Woody Guthrie's style. I won't be able to hear, so if something goes wrong, just wave at me and I'll stop. I'll sing you a story if you'll lend an ear about something that happened way down here in Australia in 2015. Tony Abbott, he needed money, you see, after something they called the GFC, the Global Financial Crisis. And Scott Morrison, he was just a man, and he and Maurice, they came up with a plan to steal from the poor and to give it to the rich. Because when it comes to tax recovery, big companies have lawyers, you see. And the poor, well, they got nothing. So the nerds at Human Services had a robot built with loose rules and a taste for blood. They said it would collect 1.5 billion. Then out went the notices for debts to students and moms and homeless vets, and the dollars began to roll in. But Bill Short and Labor and the Greens started getting calls from across the land. People were dying out there. Debts went out to folks who were dead. Pensioners, the vulnerable, had a price on their head. And no one in the government cared. Then there were challenges in the court, and several inquiries were brought. It didn't look good for the government. So now you can read, just yesterday, the Royal Commission had its say. It cost the government 1.87 billion. Thank you very much.
That was terrific, Daniel. That was great, mate. We could hear very clearly. It was really good. Thanks, mate. Maybe come back to you a bit later if you want to do another one. We'll see how we go for time. Okay? Thanks, Daniel.
Dale and Karis might be here.
Yeah, Dale and Karis, are you guys ready? Maybe.
Indeed, we're here. Yep. Can you hear us now? We're on?
Yes. Yeah, we can.
Okay. Ready to go. So this one, definitely one of John's. We're going to sing a couple of John's. And this one was when John had, after 30 years of teaching, decided he took up a bit of casual teaching. He resigned from full-time, took up a bit of casual teaching, as well as working with Max. You might remember those days, Max. Rather unique, I think, in your days and experience of working and painting big signs.
The sheltered workshop, yes.
But this one was to Terry Metherell, who was, as John says, Terry Metherell is Minister for Education. That was in 1988 when he wrote it in the New South Wales government. Nobody loves him. In fact, he was definitely the most unpopular Minister for Education, and that's saying something, isn't it? But it's to the tune of Goodbye, Mrs. Durkin. I'm sick and tired of working. So Kerrit's playing, we're both singing. Here we go. Stop him, Mr. Griner. He's smashing out of China. He brings on my angina with the way that he behaves. His parliamentary speeches insult the casual teachers, and he calls us people preachers, and he hound us to our grave. Now Metherell's castigation is our role in education, is the product of fixation and the most excessive mind. The doctor psychiatric says he thinks that he's St. Patrick, and he'll stab at casuals that quick any time he feels inclined. Oh, stop him, Mr. Griner. He's smashing up the china. He brings on my angina with the way that he behaves. His parliamentary speeches insult the casual teachers, and he'll call us evil creatures, and he'll hound us to our grave. He will sack you and discharge you. He will make your classes larger. He is like a drunken Raja riding jumbo through the zoo. Pack the crockery, hide the cherry, throw the bustle at your ferry, but don't stop to talk to Terry, or he'll trample over you. chorus if you're singing. Here we go. Mr. Griner, he's smashing up the china. He brings on my angina with the way that he behaves. His parliamentary speeches insult the casual teachers, and he'll hound the teachers, and he'll hound you to our grave. If the HSC's too tricky and you're forced to take a sickie, he will dob you into Vicky. You'll be confident for sure. He would dearly love to sack us, but the buggers really crack us, and we'll kick him in the knackers as we've kicked up her before. Go all the casuals. Stop him, Mr. Griner, he's snatching up the china. He brings on my angina with the way that he behaves. His parliamentary speeches insults the casual teachers, and he calls us evil preachers, and he'll hound us to our grave. So one of those songs of John's that this probably hasn't been sung that often, but we certainly all used to like to sing along with that one.
Well, it's very current because the so-called Labor government has just broken a promise to give all the teachers a raise.
Yes, and so anyway, from that we go to another one where John was always interested in the sound of words in so many ways, and this one's The Power Station Wouldn't Start. And believe it or not, it's like Sean chose up an tune that Elvis Presley had made popular, and in the same way Elvis Presley had made this tune, Wooden Heart, or Moosa Den, popular, and so you get the Wooden Heart, Power Station Wouldn't Start. So here we go. A couple of references to people because it's written back in the 1980s, and actually the 1970s, 71, 72, when the power stations were built then up in the Hunter, and around 1978, I think it was, there was industrial strife, and so Premier was Neville Wran. Mr. Lander was certainly Paul Lander, part of the Labor Party, and the other one mentioned is Pat Hills, all part of the Labor Party. So here we go. When the winter descends and the autumn seasons end, go to bed with friends, say the power station wouldn't start. Elvis Presley was king, and they liked to hear him sing, but he ceased his shivering when the power station wouldn't start. At Memora, a score of maintenance men have the generator all full apart. At Liddell, there's a smell like the sulphur spouts of hell. That's how I can tell that the power station wouldn't start. Neville Wran says to man to come and see me fall, bring a candle down the hall, 'cause the power station wouldn't start. As he sailed on the ark, Noah said to the aardvark, it's hard work in the dark, 'cause the power station wouldn't start. At Memora, a score of maintenance men at the generator all full apart. At Liddell, there's a smell of the sulphur spouts of hell. That's how I can tell that the power station wouldn't start. Through the dark, cold and damp, Pat Hills is forced to tramp, carrying young lamb, 'cause the power station wouldn't start. Julius Caesar in law had a TV to install, but it never worked at all, 'cause the power station wouldn't start. At Memora,
Eins, zwei, drei, wilde Stein, mit Lager und mit Wein, aus dem Power Station Wodenstein.
And a new last verse, thanks to Keris. Here we go, updated.
At Liddell, AGM, we'll be greenwashing and smell as the jobs and the workers depart. Can you tell? No, no smell. No AGL no longer smells like the sulfur spouses smell. That's how I can tell that the power station will not budge.
Up to date with AGM. Many people say John's songs basically are still relevant. Just the names have changed sometimes.
That's right. Good on you, Dale. Thanks, Kerith. Lovely. Just wanted to tell Daniel something. Daniel Kelly. You there, Daniel? Yeah, mate. Just you probably know this, but Phil's got a beautiful song called, I think it's called A Boy in Ohio, about his childhood. Have you heard that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, might be a good one to do in Ohio.
Yeah, apparently there's a song about him driving a bike down a road in Ohio.
That's the one, yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm brave enough to do that in the US though.
No, it's like a song of childhood, actually, that one. It's a beautiful song. Yeah.
Mary Jane.
All right. You with us, Mary Jane?
Yeah, I would kind of like to sing a song.
Good on you. Let's go.
I've only had 2 glasses of wine, so I'm fine.
Well, listen, me.
Well, there's more to come. And that's been really nice listening to everybody, especially hearing all John's songs, most of which I've heard or half know. And as I've said to Lainey, I say Lainey, it's Lane.
No, Lainey's okay.
Is it? All
I'll
right,
accept
all right.
either.
John was among the lovely folk people that I met when I first came to Australia, who were so generous and so welcoming to me. And I've always appreciated that. So I also remember one of the first songs I ever heard of Australian songs. I had no idea what it was about. I had no idea who Henry Lawson was. But I thought I would like to sing that song because it kind of coincides with the two of them together. Now I've shortened it a little bit, otherwise it'll go on all afternoon. And I've also shortened a verse. In fact, I've eliminated a verse with very, very bad grammar. And I don't know if John would have approved or have said, no, you can't touch Henry Lawson. I have no idea. But anyway, here goes. This is a beautiful song. And as I said to you before, I had no idea what it was all about, but now I do, of course. I've been here a while and I've looked into things, and I'm very proud to be Australian and not United Statesian, to be honest, sorry to say. No one's responding to that. We were all of us young on the diggings in days when the nation had birth, light-hearted and careless and happy, and the flower of all nations on earth. But we would have been peaceful and quiet if the law had but let us alone, and the fight, let them call it a riot, was due to no fault of our own. The greed of our rulers was narrow, they ruled with a merciless hand, for the mark of the cursed broad arrow was deep in the heart of the land. But they roused the hot blood that was in us, and the cry came to roll out at last. And I tell you that something had got to be done when the diggers rolled up in the past. I looked and I heard Peter Lawler, who stood with his face to the skies, but his figure seemed nobler and taller, and brighter the light of his eye. The blood to his forehead was rushing, as hot as the words from his mouth. He had come from the wrongs of the old land to see those same wrongs in the South. surprised in the grey of the morning, half armed and the barricade bad. A battle of 25 minutes was long against the odds that they had. But the light of the morning was deadened, and the smoke drifted far o'er the town, and the clay of Eureka was reddened ere the flag of Eureka came down. I'll do that one last again. And the clay of Eureka was reddened ere the flag of the diggers came down.
Mary Jane. Mary Jane. Thanks, Mary Jane.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you for having me.
Good old Lawson. Yes. One of John's favourites.
It's I know that he's written a song about Henry Lawson, but I didn't have time to learn it. I'm just recovering my voice after my accident 2 years ago. So this is good enough. This is all I can do.
That was great, Mary. Very great. Okay.
Where's the Seamus?
We had Seamus, are you with us, mate? Can you hear us, Seamus?
I think we just.
No, we can't hear you yet.
Yeah, just need to do the unmute. There we go.
How's that?
There
That's
we go.
it, yeah.
Gotcha.
How's that? You can hear us now?
Yes,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Can you hear? Yeah. Great. Well, this is one that probably one of our lesser known songs. There's quite a story behind it. So yeah, it's one he wrote for Bill Morgan, who is no longer with us, of course. And there was a dance at the Balmain Town Hall run by a certain Frank Canty, who also was mentioned in No Political Songs. And Bill Morgan and a friend of his who was just out of prison arrived, and Bill sort of wanted to join in with the band, which the band weren't very pleased with. And there's also his friend who had discovered some form of poetry in prison, and during a break was regaling the audience with a poem he had written about the mice in his cell. The police were called, and he was removed, but he wasn't arrested. But he did manage to escape after that. But it was quite a fun thing to watch at the time. It's called William's Waltz. Oh, William, old man, you must whip it while you can. I can see you have been on the house. You're too rough and loud for the sober side crowd, and that's why I'm calling the cops. We don't want the brawl in the Balmain Town Hall, and you've upset the fiddler, you know. This isn't your scene, if you know what I mean. So you and your mate better go. For the hustle is surrounded by sign, and the sirens are piercing the night. There's police at the door, and I'm phoning for more. Next time you'll be more polite. I told your mate twice that poems about mice are quite out of place at the dance. You're disturbing the peace, so I'm phoning police. If go while you still have a chance. Since you walked in, you created a din, disruption and riot have spread. You're a criminal type, that's my principled right. It's harsh, but it has to be said. For the whole is surrounded by time, and the sirens are piercing the night. There's police at the door, and I'm phoning for more. Next time you'll be more polite. Oh, Sergeant, beware, that's him over there. I believe he is dangerous and armed. Now we have him at bay, get those children away,
and everyone try to stay calm. Well, that's the way, Sarge. He's an outlaw. Grab him living drunk and light. His mate's just as bad. We'll be grateful and glad when the arm of the law throws them out. For the whole is surrounded that time. And their sirens are piercing the night. There's police at the door, and I'm falling for home. Next time you'll be more alive.
On you, Seamus and Catherine, thanks very much. You got another one for us, Seamus?
Not at the moment, no. Yeah.
All right, maybe later. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate. Peter Mace with us.
Were me before.
Peter Mace, David Iverack. No. Where's all our
Let's
screen?
go in here. Just looking through our group of beautiful people here. I think we lost Peter was on there before.
Yes.
Might have just popped out for a moment. Did I
This
think we
bloke
got
here.
Russ there. Many Russ.
Big Russ, you got something for us, mate?
Oh, I think I probably could have.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the things that I've noticed about the last 18 months is that nobody's had anything about Anthony Albanese.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, look, this is just something I wrote because I knew Anthony. Last time I saw him, we got horribly drunk. He likes to quite drink on a hot day, I can tell you that. But it was a long time ago. It was about 20 years ago. This is just one. I don't know if people realise it, but I am the convener of the South Coast Tripedal Association. Dale knows that. Anyway, I just wrote this one. It was advice from Albo's mum. Come eat your tripe, young Anthony. I know you love it so. It'll build your mind and body as along life's road you go. So always hold this maxim, as a food tripe is a gem. And if you eat it once a week, you will end up PM. But 20 years ago, he wouldn't have. And the other thing is, this is a short one too. This happened to me when I was 17. I was told this, and I didn't understand it. And when I look at the people here, and I see the bald heads and the grey hairs, I know that people will understand this. But I was working in the customs department at Circular Quay in Customs House, and old fellow told me this, and I didn't understand it. But you laugh as you do, you know. It's called empathy. I call it empathy. A young lad sat on the curb one day, sobbing and crying his life away. A kindly big Russ, who was passing by, said, "What is it, son, that makes you cry?" "I want to do what the big boys do, and I can't," he said, and he cried anew. Big Russ bent down and beside him knelt and burst into tears, because he knew how he felt. Yeah, all the women didn't understand that. All the blokes did. Anyway, this is I think John had two great loves. Well, apart from all his other loves, but he certainly had a great love for betting on the horses, and there was a song done earlier, and he had a great love for drinking booze. And of course, this August the 1st, was, of course, the horse's birthday. Every horse in the Southern Hemisphere was a year older on the 1st of August. And you mightn't have realised it, but the 4th of August was the International Day of Beer. And so anything you sing that he sang about beer is very appropriate today. But anyway, this is for the erudite, because I was a basic maths teacher in another life. Anyway, this is one I wrote quite some time back. Now, you might have heard of René Descartes, which I think everyone has. He was a 16th century mathematician and philosopher. I think therefore I am, which we all know, which of course is cogito, ergo sum. And the Cartesian, he invented the Cartesian coordinate system. And that allows reference to a point in space as a set of numbers and allowing algebraic equations to be expressed as geometric shapes in a two-dimensional coordinate system. And conversely, shapes to be described as equations were named after him. He is described as the father of analytical geometry, the bridge between algebra and geometry, crucial to the diversity of infinitesimal calculus and analysis. My wife, Bev, is a Latin scholar, and she has a degree from Sydney University in Latin. And so she helped name a little trotter that we all own down here at the Illawarra Folk Club. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us did. He was called Signum Vitae, which means signs of life. Anyway, I wrote a poem about him and for the trotting syndicate that we were in. You know a lot of the people who were in it. We had a little trotter. Signum Vitae was his name, the Latin meaning signs of life. He's intelligent and game. He loved going to the racetrack. He was sharp as a knife. But back home in the stables, he led a different life. For he had a love of numbers. Mathematics was his go. He could add, subtract, and multiply. He'd put on quite a show. He understood place value. He could borrow and pay back. Long division was a piece of cake, a bale of hay. At that he had the knack. When he started finding squares and roots, it was then that we just knew that we needed to extend him, push him up a grade or two. Coordinate geometry, we thought that he should know, discovered by Descartes 500 years ago. We explained about coordinates and the Cartesian plane. We thought that would get him thinking with his highly active brain. After winning a hard race one day, we left him with a book. He seemed okay, but when we left, he had a glazed look. The next day when we called around, a sad sight met our eye. For scratched into the stable door was X squared equals Y. There were some lines upon the ground drawn by an alcoholic. At least that's what it seemed, because none were parabolic. There was no signum vitae. The horse appeared quite dead. He was stretched out on the ground with the book beside his head. The vet confirmed the horse was dead, and then he saw the book. He became quite agitated, fixed us with a deadly look. You've killed the horse, he stated, and I think you really oughta be charged with its homicide, at least with equine slaughter. Ignorance is no excuse. You should have known, of course, that you never, ever, ever put Descartes before the horse. Sorry about that. It got too much for me. And actually, we had a better horse than him. I wrote quite a few poems about him too. And last night,
you say you wrote that one, Ross? Russ?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And last night, the same, basically the same syndicate. And we've got dogs now, and every dog we had a little fellow in our syndicate, a little Indigenous bloke, Johnny Chapman. His father, who's 92 now, was the first Aboriginal principal in of a primary school, of a public school in New South Wales. And we went up to the annual conference. He got a big award up at the annual conference of the New South Wales Teachers Federation. Anyway, Johnny Chapman died very young. It was very sad. And one of the blokes he'd lived with in his single days was a dog trainer. So we all put in and bought this dog, and we had to give it a name. And so after much discussion, because it had to relate to Chapo, you see, Johnny Chapman, we decided we'd call it Just One Goat, because his favourite saying was, you fuck just one goat and you're known as a goat fucker for the rest of your life. And the people who accept the names must have in fact heard that, and they rejected the name. So they thought for a while, and we called the dog Tiffy, because that was another big phrase. His things was tell him fuck him. And Tiffy is T-I-F-I, you see, which was the same. Anyway, Tiffy turned out to be a real good dog. It was Brood Bitch of the Year. It's made us quite a bit of money. There's about 12 of us in it. And anyway, so we've one of its granddaughters, great-granddaughters raced last night at Wentworth Park, but unfortunately it ran fourth, but it's won 10 races, so we're not complaining about that. And when it goes to stud, you get 8,000 or 10,000 for each bloody dog. So it's been good. And anyway, that's all to do with the syndicate. And
I thought that was all cleared up, Russ.
What's that?
I thought that dog racing was stopped. What
No,
do you mean
mate, no.
people race a dog?
Oh no. They tried to.
You sound a bit like Bielke then. Oh, no, they can't stop. No, the dogs, no. My wife and her scones and the dogs, no.
Well, they still, the Bulleye Showground where we have our festival.
Oh, that's a bit of a
dog
deal.
track. It's still a dog track.
Okay,
Yeah, we fit in with them. Oh, just the other thing before, seeing as people were getting a little plug, next Sunday at 2:30 p.m, we are having the, not the Renaissance concert, what are we calling it? We're calling it the Resurrection. A Resurrection concert will be on the Thirroul station. There's a heritage hall there, and we're resurrecting a grand piano. The grand piano on Thirroul station in the heritage hall, it's only a little, it's not a very big hall, was built in 1879 for the Grand Exhibition in Sydney, and they built the Garden Palace to have the exhibition in it, and they built two pianos. One had to go to Melbourne, where it's still, and this one had to go to the Grand Exhibition in Sydney. And in 1882, 3 years later, the Grand Exhibition burnt down. You may have seen that painting of the thing burning down in fire. It was the biggest thing that ever happened in Sydney up until that time. And but somehow or other, the piano escaped. Anyway, I didn't know this. That's what it was. But down in the hall, on the station at Thirroul, there's the grand piano. And I didn't realise it was a piano for a while. I just thought it was a table, because people put all the people who play their music put their instruments on it. And then when I started to inquire about the piano, they told me about this. I don't know how they got it. They got it in 1980, and from the Bulleye Workers Club. I don't know where the Bulleye Workers Club got it from, but it's one of those things that just drifts around. Anyway, we're resurrecting it. And
when is it again, Russ?
Next Sunday at 2:30, and I've got we've got Jan Preston. You probably all know Jan, a boogie piano player, probably the best one, he's the best one in Australia. And she's coming down, and she's going to get it going again and play it again. And I was there the other day, last couple of Saturdays ago, and Emma Hanna. You remember? People remember Emma Hanna from the 70s and 80s. Very big, and she was around all the folk clubs in the 60s. You know, the little cafes and things. And she retired, and she's married to a bloke called Kenny Kitchener, and Kenny was he's on just about every Slim Dusty record. He plays slide guitar, and he's 92, and they retired about 2 months ago. And I said, what about you come down and we'll have this resurrection, we'll resurrect you, and you can have, do 30 minutes for us to introduce Jan Preston, the concert. And so they're coming along. So it's a real proper resurrection concert. And you'd love the hall. It's right on the station. You don't have to get off you can get a train down, train back, and you don't even have to go off the station. And around the wall, it's very ambient. Around the wall is a picture of every leader of the Labor Party since Federation. And there's just one problem, and people come in and they get a bit cranky about it. One of the pictures around the wall is Mark Latham, and they want to turn to the wall. So, but anyway, that's all fair above. So look, if you want to come down,
the wall. Tear down the wall.
tear down the wall, yeah. Well, that's right. Anyway, if you want to come down, go in and have a look at Illawarra Folk Club concerts, and that's our next one, which is on Sunday week. You get a train down, you get a train back. It's only an hour and a bit, only 4 stations.
Terrific. Thanks, Russ. I'm just trying to get in touch with Bruce and Jill Watson.
There they are.
Yeah, you got something to start for us?
Yep, I have. Yep. So I've got something a little bit different. I've actually got a song that I wrote for John, and it's called, and it follows on nicely from what Russ was just saying about John's two loves of horses and booze. And this is called The Ode to John Dengate and Cooper's Ale. And I wrote it up at Woodford. We spent 1 year at Woodford. We both would end up waking up very early because the sun would get too hot on our tent, and we'd sit in the green room for a few hours till things started happening and chatted a lot. And in the course of that, he asked me if I would take part in a debate that he was part of, because that particular year, Woodford decided to have Guinness as their sponsor. And this was a bit of an affront to John Dengate, of course, because he was a great lover of Coopers. And so the topic of the debate was whether John Dengate was a traitor to the Woodford Festival because of his love of Coopers. So I wrote this little piece called The Ode to John Dengate and Cooper's Ale. There was a wild folk singer, John Dengate was his name, a poor but honest parodist, from Sydney town he came. He spent his life composing songs whose legacy has lasted. He stood his ground, he's righted wrongs, he's a bloody nice old bastard. Now some say he's a traitor to the Woodford sponsor, Guinness. But I say that's a load of crap, and it's no one else's business. He's got a right to spend each night in paralytic stupors, and greater love hath no man than John Dengate for his Coopers. Last night he asked me if I'd take his side in this debate. He said that all I'd have to do was say that he was great. So here I go. He's fabulous, he's gorgeous, full of grace. And who could fail to love that pale, bespectacled old face? So come along, me hearties, we'll sing John Dengate's praise. He's absolutely wonderful in oh so many ways. He's witty and he's generous, as a friend he'll never fail. So give a break to my old mate and cheer for Cooper's Ale.
There are two Coopers, you know, Bruce. There's the green and the red. The green is 4.4% alcohol and the red is 5.7. And we were there at Albion Park one time with John and myself, and we were drinking the green, and you can drink as much green as you like. and we didn't know they ran out of green and put a keg of red on and didn't tell anyone. And after about 5 or 6 more schooners, we felt our legs start to give way. Anyway, I don't know how I got home, but I think I was only on the road when I crossed it. When I got home, my wife said to me, "Where have you been?" I said, "Oh, just having a few beers with Buddy John Dengate." She said, "You're not drinking with him anymore." And I think Dale might have said the same to him, but I don't know. I've told that story, and I think Dale did tell him that he wasn't allowed to drink with me anymore. But it wasn't us. It was the
Okay. Well,
Hey,
anyway,
Bruce.
if I may just do another little thing, because I put this poem that's a song into a songbook that I put out many years ago, and Jill did a little drawing there.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Yeah,
So,
that's
but
great.
and John helped me launch the book at a festival on the North Coast, and he wrote a little poem. So I hope you don't mind me reading this. He says very nice things about me, perhaps in return for me saying nice things about him. But I just thought it might be interesting for people to hear this, because it's never been published anywhere or anything. It was just a one-off, and he sent me the words.
Right.
So here we go. This is a poem for my book launch. Pull out your wallets, no excuses, so you can buy this book of Bruce's. This book of songs that Bruce composed, in which our foibles are exposed. This book of clever, witty songs on every bookshelf now belongs. That's not true, but there you go. Do not doubt its quality. There's even one song there for me. I thought I might rate more than one, but really, when all's said and done, although the tribute's rather small, I'm lucky that I'm there at all. But I digress. My judgment trust. This book of Bruce's is a must. Some songs are sad and some are funny, and everyone is worth the money. Well composed, incisive verses, so open up those bulging purses. Bruce's satire's very polished. His targets, wounded, lie demolished, bleeding oh so copiously. But I speak metaphorically, for Bruce in truth's a gentle soul, enlightening the world is his goal. His songs do not just entertain, they educate. I say again, Bruce is such a clever blighter, our best supremely gifted writer. Wasn't he generous?
That's very good, yeah.
It's all lies, but it's a lovely thing to have. I treasure that poem.
Yeah, that's a beauty.
Can I just
Who won the
make a
debate?
Can I make a comment about the Coopers? Their stout is even stronger than the red, and they often make some special brews that are even stronger. They make a lot of brews, but their standard stout is about 6.8.
Well, while we're on the Coopers subject, what about Dengate's song about the Coopers, the wonderful brew of the Coopers? He tried to give that to the Coopers Brewery in South Australia, and they said they didn't want it. So they're
Yeah, they were
idiots.
mad.
You better start drinking Guinness. Don't worry about Coopers.
The other one too is down the coast. I think I'm just trying to think who it is. He's got a song, "Put Him in the Ring with Dengate." You know that one?
Oh.
What's his name from down at
Mike Martin's song.
Hey?
It's Mike Martin's song, Russ.
It's what?
Mike Martin's song.
Mike Martin's song, yeah. It's Mike Martin, yeah. He's got
I
this
think
song.
he did it
Put
on
him
one
in-
of our
Put him in the ring
gatherings.
with Dengate. He's got.
Yeah.
That'll sort him out.
Just while we've got a second, just wanted to read out some apologies for people who couldn't make it today. John Tubridi, David Coy, Christina Mamachi, Lynn Doherty, that's Martin Doherty's wife, Lynn, Chris Maltby, and Colleen Burke. If anyone's got any other apologies, they can let them out now.
Speak now or forever hold your peace. They say.
Speak now or don't be sorry, or you will be sorry.
Well, I'm just going to apologise because I'm going to leave in a second, and it's a bit rude to do something and then just leave, but I do have to go.
Bruce.
Yeah, well, that means you've got to do another thing then.
No,
As your
I've done
punishment.
2 things. That's more.
Okay. Good
Thanks,
on you.
everyone.
Thanks,
No worries.
Bruce.
Lovely.
Thanks, Bruce and Jill.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks again. See you guys. All righty.
Now, I saw someone just before. Is it David Iverack?
Dave? Dave Iverack, yep. There he is. How you going, mate?
We're just going to unmute you, my friend. There you go.
Yep. We both unmuted at the same time.
Ah.
How you going, David?
Yeah, look, I'm
Yeah.
now older than bloody John was, so this is new
Yeah.
territory for me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But the I'm sorry I joined late, so I don't know whether anyone's mentioned these the lanes of Woolloomooloo.
No, we did that last year, but it'd be great to do that.
I won't do the whole thing, but I don't know how many of you heard the news. I was quite lucky. I was driving from somewhere, A to B, and I had the radio on ABC, and I could hardly believe they said, "Oh, they've uncovered about 15 decomposed bodies, remains of bodies, up on the Kokoda Trail at a place called Templeton's Crossing."
Yeah.
And I said, "Bugger me, I wonder how many Australians would know that." So there's the song about his mate whose name was not for the naming. There's caught disease in the Japanese mustered in the militia on the wharves of Woolloomooloo, caught disease in the Japanese in the summer of 42. Never you mind his shaking hand or his strangely twisted mouth. He was cut off at Templeton's Crossing when the Japs came swarming south. He wept and prayed in the jungle, and God to his prayers was deaf. Jocko, retreat on your bleeding feet, and where was the AIF? And further down, he says, he's a child of the Great Depression from the lanes of Woolloomooloo. He's a hollow, dirty derelict, abandoned by the fates. His soul's at Templeton's Crossing with his dead militia mates. I thought, how about that? All this time later, they're still finding the militia mates at Templeton's Crossing. So,
yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. How many of you heard that on the
I
news?
hadn't heard that.
No, but
I
my
heard
uncle was killed too.
They've taken it very seriously. They had a whole, I saw some pictures. The weather conditions were bloody dreadful. And probably no worse than they were in 42. And they'd set up a lot of tents and things up there to properly exhume the bodies, and they reckon they had enough DNA stuff to be able to identify them. So,
wow,
yeah, quite. I was quite taken aback when I heard it.
Yeah.
Of course, knowing this 10th anniversary was coming up, I've had John a fair bit on my mind. We had our run out at Centennial Park this morning. The 10th, John Dengate, Centennial Park, 5K.
Oh, good on you.
I did it in, I don't know, just under 27 minutes. And I remember being not all that impressed when John was taking bloody 23 and 24 minutes to do it. Got it all in perspective now.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for the opportunity to
That's
say good day to
beautiful.
everyone.
Good on
Thanks,
you,
David.
David. We used to live on the river, on Cook's River, opposite the Marrickville Golf Club. And we'd sit out in the backyard, and every now and then we'd hear this whack, and then you'd hear it crash through the trees and into the mud. And we'd always yell out, "Good on you, Dengate." In his memory, because he probably belted a few into the mud of the Cook's River, I'd say. Now, I think we saw Peter Mace there. Hey, g'day, Peter. can you hear us?
Oh, got to unmute there. Oh, I think we've need to unmute there, Peter. Sorry.
How's that?
There
That's
we
it,
go.
mate. We got you.
Is that working? Okay,
Yeah,
right.
it's good.
Beautiful.
Good, Peter.
I was going to do one of John's poems, and I don't know. I was there when he wrote it. I don't even know whether he ever performed it. We were at Naranda at the John O'Brien Festival, and it was a stinking hot day. And I said to John, I'm going for a swim, and I came back in about an hour and a half, and he'd written this poem. And the amazing thing was, I looked at the where he'd written it. He changed one word. He'd scratched one word out. That was all he scratched out. Otherwise, the poem had just flowed from him, you know.
Yeah,
And it was an amazing festival because we stayed in the Murrumbidgee Hotel, and after our gigs on a Saturday night, we went out onto the veranda, and there was a big round table and one old fella just sitting at it in the semi-darkness. And John said, let's go and sit with this bloke. So we had a chat to him, and he said, oh, mate, he said, I live here in the hotel. He said, I can't sleep. He said, so I just sit out here, you know. And in the course of about the next hour, about another 6 or 8 performers all came and joined us and started doing poetry and singing songs. And I can still remember this old fella leaning over towards me and saying, you know what? I'm going to wake up in the morning and think this was all a dream, he said. So this is the poem that John wrote. So and he simply called it To John O'Brien. As I sit on the pub veranda, sharing a glass of wine, I look out over Narandra and I think of you, John O'Brien. You've been dead for 2 generations, but though in the clay you lie, among people of 2 great nations, your writing will never die. I feel fire burn in my belly, for though my old beard's turning grey, my mother's name is Kelly, and it's almost St. Patrick's Day. You lived as a priest and a writer. Yours was a voice unique, a humorist, a prelate, a fighter. From the pages I hear you speak. I see them now, old man Carey and all the Carey clan, golden-haired laughing Mary. I see the old Mass Chandra Dan. I feel your faith in those pages, a faith that I much admire. Your verses will live down the ages, for they're filled with a Celtic fire. The Irish Australians, God bless them, and old Father Hartigan's pen. No trials could defeat or depress them. There were never such women and men. While ever the Southern Cross blazes, while ever the shamrock is seen, we'll sing Father Hartigan's praises and be true to the gold and the green. So that was what John wrote.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So I don't even know whether he ever performed it again, or I got to print it up. And I think I gave a copy of it to him, but I don't know whether he ever recorded or performed it anyway.
That's the first time I've heard it, and I thought I'd heard most of his stuff.
Yeah,
that's a beauty. Do you know that one, Dale?
Yes, I do. And there were copies, and lovely to hear you there reciting it. There were about 6 big boxes after John died that I sort of put into the archives down at the National Library. But I didn't keep a copy of everything. But I think there was a written copy. There's just so many things, you know, like, John would just write them, as you say, every day or at a drop of a hat, and on all sorts of bits of paper. And so one day, Mum, maybe somebody will go down and go through all those big boxes and find them. But it's just lovely that you've all, kept the verses and those treasured moments. Yeah.
Well, that poem is in this book.
Oh, there you go. We've got that one.
No, that's right.
Oh, beauty.
It's in there.
Oh, okay. I published
Good
that.
on you,
put it all
Jerry.
together.
Yep.
Yep.
Someone's paying attention. That's very good, Jerry. Extra points for you.
Get 10 points for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Page 29.
I'm going to write that one here. Extra points to Jerry Myerson.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Jerry. Because when that was mooted. It was a Bush Music Club do. And I mean, people used to, as you know, John was proud of being a Luddite. And so he didn't get on the computer, but people would get in touch with me because I was quite computer literate. And they would ask for the words of John's songs, like Tony up there in Darwin. Each week I'd have to give them the latest song so they could sing it. And yeah, so a lot of them went in when they, Sandra Nixon sort of asked me to do a book for one of the Bush Music Club anniversaries. So I just went online and printed out whatever, well, I didn't print everything out, not by far, but selected things that would go in. But there are a lot that John wrote down at Gaylon. And I know, yeah, Pam's always said, you know, how many verses he wrote, especially from the Gaylon gatherings. Yeah, there's lots out there, but I'm glad some of it we got into that book.
Oh, good on you. Thanks, Dale.
Yeah, he came down, Dale. You probably remember this. He came down to Wollongong in about the mid-80s, and he and Alan Musgrave drank a bottle of whiskey together up at Alan Musgrave's place, and as they do, and Alan recorded. He sat down and he recorded all these songs that I'd never heard, stuff about the Vietnam War, and songs that I've never heard them played since. But Alan gave me the tape, and I can't find the bloody thing. And Alan hasn't got it because he said, when you find it, can you send it to me? So I don't know if you've got a copy of it either. But anyway, I'm going to have a look because I've got all these tapes that never get played. And there might be, 1,500 of them or 2,000, and it's in one of them, and I've got to go through them. But I don't know.
Thanks,
did you
Russ.
have that tape? It was on a cassette tape. Dale? Oh, I don't know if you had it or not. Anyway, it's a great tape. It's got things about Ho Chi Minh and all these sort of things on it.
Now, can we hear from Margaret Walters or who was the other person we just saw then? Somebody else on there who hasn't sung a song for us. Thomas. Tom de Walderhair.
Do you want Thomas to go first? I had to come late because I was.
Oh, good on you, Margaret. Good to see you. What are you going to do a song for us, Tom? Ask to unmute.
Yeah, might have to click on the button that pops up on the screen. There you go. Can hear you now.
Yeah. I had a shave and I had a tub and I went to the Marrickville Tennis Club. I didn't hit balls all through the net, but I still got beaten game and set. Still got beaten game and set. I says to the cove behind the bar, I've a thirst like a Yankee motor car. Pour us a schooner, gird your loins, and give me $10 worth of 10-cent coins. Give us $10 worth of 10-cent coins. Excitement rises by degrees. I spot a machine called honeybees. I'm feeling lucky and I'm bound to win. Watch me make those four wheels spin. Watch me make those four wheels spin. Lick goes 10 cents down the slot. Now get ready for the big jackpot. An ace, a jack, a 10, and a queen. That doesn't pay a flaming thing. That doesn't pay a flaming thing. My mate goes by on his way to the gents. For God's sake, Jack, have some sense. Don't blame me when your dough runs out. And just remember that it's your next shout. Just you remember that it's your next shout. Now the wheels go rattle and the handle jerk. That it's less like fun and it's more like work. I've an empty tray and an aching wrist. I'm losing my patience and I'm 3 parts pissed, losing me temper and I'm 3 parts pissed. And that's about it. I can't remember the rest of it. Sorry
Oh,
about
good on you, Tom. Beauty. I think you've got mate. Yeah. First verse again. That's it. Beautiful. Good on you, mate.
What he used to do is when he came to Wollongong, our folk club was held at the tennis club, the Wollongong Tennis Club, and he used to sing that, but he sang it not the Marrickville Tennis Club. He came to the Wollongong Tennis Club.
Oh, good one.
It's great.
Now, Margaret, are you ready for us, mate?
I can unmute and
Margaret,
Dave Meyer as well.
Dave Moyer or Margaret?
I'm here now. And apologies for being
Oh, good on you,
late.
Margaret. Yeah.
I was at the rally, the Hiroshima Day rally in town. And I was
yes.
trying to get some singers together to join the raucous anti-AUKUS chorus.
Oh, that's a beauty. Yeah.
How was the gathering?
I didn't. There was a reasonable number at the demonstration, but I missed out on gathering some singers together. But so I'll sing a couple of the songs that I would have liked to have sung if I'd had the opportunity, if that's
Great.
okay. I
Good
know John would have approved of them, I'm sure. So the first little ditty is by Jenny Fitzgibbon, who's really great at putting out something that marchers can pick up quickly. Let's be raucous, no to AUKUS and to nuclear submarines. To the alliance, show defiance, no to AUKUS and submarines. I'll get the right tune for the next verse, okay? The tune is Clementine. Let's be raucous, no to AUKUS and to nuclear submarines. The price will blow out, waste will flow out, no to nuclear submarines. And the other one was written way back in the days of the Peace Squadron. Do you remember ever the peace rallies back in the 80s when we were down at Mrs. Macquarie's chair because we wanted to follow New Zealand's stand and ban nuclear ships visiting Sydney. This one's just been adapted a little bit. It's called Turn Around by Brenda Lydiard. We don't want your nuclear warships, and we don't want your submarines, and we don't need your drones and missiles, and we can do without your all-American dreams. So turn around, turn around. We don't want to be a target. This should be neutral ground before we see the sunset. We have listened to their promises, and we have listened to their lies, but now we must listen to what our heart says, and we know we are running out of time. So turn around, turn around. We don't want to be a target. This should be neutral ground before we see the sunset. We are growing discontented with the generals who play chess with our lives. No, we don't want to be connected with the maniacs who plan our suicide. So turn around, turn around. We don't want to be a target. This should be neutral ground before we see the sunset. Turn around, turn around. We don't want to be a target. This should be neutral ground. Before we are the sunset. There were a lot of talkers today at the rally about how absolutely ludicrous the AUKUS agreement is, and it's going to stretch out to $1 trillion, not just 368 billion. So be warned.
Excellent, Margaret. It's Margaret Bradford.
Margaret.
Singing along. Very good. Good
Margaret,
on you. I
did
plan to
did
go
they
up
have
and get.
those little stickers, AUKUS, not AUKUS?
Yes, I've got the
You
T-shirt.
remember that at Port Kembla? You probably had one, yeah.
I did.
Margaret was down at Port Kembla. We had a thing there in May Day, and people were wearing these stickers saying AUKUS, which is ORKAS, which are the whales, some sort, I think. And they were knocking off boats off the coast of.
Yeah, excellent, Margaret. Good on you.
Thanks, Margaret. Good on you, love. Okay, David Moyer there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
No.
How you going, David?
Yeah, good, mate. Good mood. Yeah.
Good.
I've got a guitar here. I hope this comes out all right.
Give it a strum.
Hi, Dave.
Oh, yeah. It's Alan and Margaret. Good to see you, Dave.
Hello, Alan. Hello, Margaret. How are you? Is that all right?
Yes, we can hear it, mate.
Right. Yeah, I first met John very many years ago down at the Fortune of War Hotel down at Circular Quay, where he virtually took over the pub, and he reminded me of a magpie. So this is a song which I sort of call Song for John. And because he's Irish too, you might know the tune. I thought I heard him today near tall trees where magpies build their nests. Silvered winged they fly, they know the call of freedom in their breath. Ocean hearts against the sky, they twist and turn, just trying to be heard. Sing until the pub was closed, saw the sun come up, we cried for more. He played and swore in poetry, and he sang the songs of Australia. I met your man that day in an old pub where fiddlers love to play. Saw him touch the bow, he played a reel which seemed so grand and gay. He stood and sang without restraint in a wild foam, just trying to be heard. Sing until the pub was closed, saw the sun come up and we cried for more. He played and swore in poetry, and he sang the songs of Australia. Talking all the day with true friends who try to make you stay, telling jokes and news, singing songs to while the time away. Things have changed in Sydney now,
the whistle's gone, there's nothing to be heard. Not sing until the pub was closed, all watching the sun come up and crying for more. He played and swore in poetry, and he sang the songs of Australia. There you go.
Beautiful.
Well, is that the tune of Song for Ireland?
Yeah, try to get it like that. Yeah.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, that's a great
good,
song.
Dave. Yeah.
Have you got another one for us, mate?
Oh, Mary Jane's got a hand
Oh,
up.
Mary
there.
Jane's got a hand up.
Well, I'm almost 85 and I think I'm doing reasonably well, but I cannot master even the chat. So I'm having to say in person, goodbye. It was a lovely afternoon. I have something I have to do, but I so appreciate being part of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary Jane.
Thanks,
for
Mary
joining
Jane.
us.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.
See you again.
Bye, Mary Jane.
All the best.
You too. Everybody was wonderful. I really enjoyed it, but unfortunately,
thanks,
I have
Mary
to do
Jane.
something
That was
now.
really-
Lovely to
yeah.
see you, Mary Jane. And sorry
for
I
the
wasn't
song.
here when you sang earlier.
No, it was
That's
beautiful.
right.
That's
It was
Margaret talking.
a song you know quite well. I know, Margaret. I know your voice. Bye-bye, everybody. And thank you again for a lovely afternoon. I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry I have to go now.
See you next time. Thanks, Mary Jane.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I think you're going to do it.
Was I?
I think
I was
so.
going to ask Dave if he had another one.
Can't go away. How do I leave?
Let me see. Oh, I can remove you.
Bottom,
Unceremoniously.
Leave.
All right.
bottom right
Leave.
screen.
I'm leaving.
Leave.
Goodbye,
Oh,
everybody.
you got it? Okay.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
You can check out any time you want.
That's right. You gotta go. Yeah, did David want to do another song?
Oh, yeah, I've always got another song. Just another one.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, one of John's.
Yeah,
called,
great,
the-
mate.
The Dying Treasurer,
Oh, yeah.
I think. So I can do it in C. A federal treasurer lay dying,
20 past.
his budget supporting his head. The cabinet lay plausibly lying as he raised on his elbow and said, wrap me up in my jiggery pokery, wrap me round in my ledger domain, bury me deep in the rhetorical answers, right next to the monetary drain. The booze in the cup of decanter, place your tumblers all in a row, and toast more and more unemployment. May the total continue to grow. Wrap me up in my jiggery poker, wrap me round in my ledger domain, buried deep in the rhetorical answer, right next to the monetary drain. Cut down the consumer price index, put wages and salaries on ice, lock up 4 and 2 union leaders to help me obtain paradise. Oh, had I the flight of an emu, I'd desperately run round and round and tried to soar into the sunset and never get off the ground. Wrap me up in my jiggery pokery, wrap me round in my ledger domain, bury me deep in the rhetorical answers, right next to the monetary drain. There you go.
Fantastic.
So good.
Beautiful. Thanks, mate.
Good day.
John had a way of putting words into songs that you wouldn't expect and rhyming them. And jiggery pokery is not something you'd expect to hear, is it?
Can I just do a 4-line poem about the treasurer?
Only if it's 4 lines, Russ.
It is 4 lines, and as you know,
Go for it.
teals are not just a colour; they are a dabbling duck, right? That's what a teal is. They asked Josh Frydenberg, "How does it feel to be knocked off your perch by a low-flying teal?" He said, "I despair, but it could be much worse. I could be the subject of Big Russ's bad verse." And
Good on you, Russ.
Good one, mate.
Very good.
Right, where were we?
I was just going to ask Jason and Chloe if Ollie and Joanna wanted to do something, or if they want to do something again.
Kids are waving us away here.
I don't have anything to do today. I think.
Ollie's saying g'day, but they're not.
I am here. I'm just.
Hi, Ollie.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hi, Joanna. How you going? I like your haircut.
Thank you. I feel like some haircut, guys.
Did you want to do another song, The Rose?
But I got just a quick story. Russell's put me in mind of the Greyhounds and the Bulleye when the first time the Illawarra Folk Festival moved up from Jamboree to Bulleye. They actually ran the dogs in the middle of the folk festival. My memory is it was the Friday night, and some of you probably won't be surprised that there was quite a bit of tension between the folk world and some true grassroots working class culture. And we were drinking Coopers with Mike Martin and John. And it was Coopers, not Guinness. And the challenge.
Don't worry about it.
The challenge was to sing Australian chorus songs, and we were singing away. And the Greyhounders come in with their dogs, and the tension was building. I'm not sure it ever amounted to much more than tension, but Mike Martin disappeared from the circle of singers, and we wondered where he'd gone. And somehow he'd gone away and scrounged himself a bit of number 9 fencing wire, and he fashioned himself out of wire a collar and a leash. And he said, "Let's go for a walk." And we walked out with him with his invisible dog out amongst the greyhounds and the greyhound walkers, and he would just walk up to the others walking their greyhounds, looking a little, "Who are you?" And he said, "Do you like my dog, mate? You like my dog?" It was hilarious. It could have gone either way, you know, but I think it broke the tension. You know,
good one, mate. I didn't know it. I didn't know that. That was great. I know something about. All I knew everything about folk festival there.
You could count on Mike and you could count on John to get that glint in his eye when he saw some sport to be had. Shall we sing one for you? Would you like one?
Please do.
Okay, all right. We're winging it a bit. We only just got home from a big night bashing out huge rock and roll Grateful Dead songs in Marrickville and working on Little Sleep. The same happened last year too. It's organised beautifully because you've got as silly as a wheel. And
it's the Jerry Garcia.
When I say Little Sleep, I actually mean no sleep. Don't bounce back from that as well as I used to. But it'd be nice to send one down that's almost local for us. So follow her London chewing, their stories will always be told, and none can deny our allure and a place in the story of gold. Were written in Knights at Pied Clay, home rule and Canadian lead, are the glittering history of gold. Long is there for Australia to read. How loud were the shouts and the laughter when diggers with joy unrestrained, when paddling around in the gutters and picking up gold when it rains. Written in nuggets of pipe clay on ruined Canadian leaves. All the glitter in history of gold long is there for Australia to read. Glinting in clay and in gravel, gleaming in quartz and in loads. Gold was the pillar of gold on, and Gardner was king of the road. Were written in nuggets of pipe clay on ruling Canadian leaves. All the glitter in history of gold long is there for Australia to read. Written in nuggets at pipe clay, home ruling Canadian league. All the glitter in history of gold long is there for Australia to read. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. So nice to hear you all.
Did you say Paddy's gone? Okay.
Yeah, Sean, maybe Sean.
Just wondering if Sean's got another song for us.
Okay, Sean.
Sean of the Dengate.
Before that, can I have a little word, Max?
Yes, certainly.
So following up with the Rowan, and there has been mentioned that there will be a concert in at the Sydney Folk Festival, because I did ask if we could have, after 10 years, remembering John Dengate. And I have spoken to the Rowetts prior, so they know they're on. And Seamus is on. And pretty much, like, I thought I'd catch up with people who are already in the Folk Festival that's on over the weekend. I'm not sure what sort of a concert will be in that. It's at 3 o'clock. All the volunteers, there's no other venue open. All the volunteers will be there and they get at least one free grog. I think it'll be a bit like singing in an old pub, but, you know, if you can handle that, which all folk singers probably can, it should be a lot of fun. And so I just wanted to mention, you know, if people wanted to turn up and be there. I think we're all, Kerith and I have been practicing because we want a lot of songs that people will join in the chorus. So we're definitely going to start off with some of the Jopi Petersons. So we'll all be singing Cunnamulla. And I thought we end with Farewell and Adieu, but a lot of songs in between. And while I'm holding the fort, thanks to everyone who performed and listened, and it's just it is a unique concert, and it's not a concert. It's like sitting in our lounge room where we used to have lots of people call in, sing a song, and, you know, yarn and carry on. Unbelievable. And once again, thanks so much to Lane, who continues to do the technological organisation, and Max, who helps us flow along with the incredible energy. Thanks to all.
And can I just say, Dale, don't forget to tell them that you'll be at Folk by the Sea, you'll be running a John Dengate parody concert, which you've already got people lined up for, but there'll be other people that will line up who are already down there. And I don't know, you probably haven't got Jason and Chloe, but I think
yes, we have, I hope. Yes. So
all right. Yeah, I haven't had a good look at it yet.
For your sins, I think you have us, yeah.
Well, I did get in touch, yes, and I actually the other day sent an email to Dave DeSantis saying, look, I don't even know what time we're on, but I just want you to be sure that Jason and Chloe are singing with me. And again, it's called just a concert remembering John Dengate. It's sort of downstairs, you know, one of those rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we run into, and you'll be there, Russ. And,
of course I'll be there. 23rd.
Sorry, guys. Where was this one?
Kiama. That's in September.
Kiama.
Yeah.
It's a 3-day Folk by the Sea, it's called.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Ah, Folk
and
by
you'll
the
see
Sea.
it and
Yep.
see that
September
the
20.
actual program has just come out a day or two ago. I've had a look
Is
at
it going to be dog racing?
No, they don't
Right
have
through
dogs
the
down
middle.
there, but
Bring your own dog.
We could bring
I think it's bring your own
bring a
dog.
couple of dogs.
Yeah, we've got plenty
what
of
could
dogs.
happen is
Look at this
it could
one.
be
Look at
the,
this little racer.
Look at her.
it could be the whale thing. There'll be
She's a
whales.
beauty. Give her a drink
Like
of
the
water. She
sweetwing.
comes last.
it could be whales there because
All
whales
right.
heading
Just
coming
gonna
back
say
from the Gold
Saturday
Coast.
Oh, sorry, Saturday the 23rd, and it
Yeah.
starts about 11:30, I think. Anyway.
In the Saddleback, it's in the
12:30.
Saddleback room. Yeah.
Saddleback, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, that's over.
right.
I'm finished with announcements. Bye.
Thanks, Dale.
Thanks, Dale.
Good on you.
And it looks like we've got
Sean. Sean, you with us?
Oh, look, only a fool would follow the Roas, aren't they? Jason and Chloe and their children, I've heard that they are just, so I'm not going to make that mistake. That I love listening to them. One day I do have a song about Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein, To the Sounds of Silence. I will find a reason to sing that one day, but I think it's more appropriate to just at this point of the evening, just to again thank yourself, Lane and Max,
Oh my God, okay.
for everything you do.
We don't want thank yous. We want your song.
No, we have too many thank
We
yous.
want your song. We want
We
your
want
song.
the song. We want the song. We want the song. We want the song.
We want the song.
Another has come in to say, it's been enough of Dengates. Thank you, Sean.
It has been. All I would say is it goes, hello, Jeffrey. Hello, Jeffrey, my old friend. I've come to visit you again. I'm sorry that I am late. I had to go to school to find my date. The memory of this person I will forget because I don't sweat and I have a plan for Jeffrey's silence. So
Oh, that's beautiful. That sounds a little bit dark.
It's a touch dark, which is why I think it's
Nice to know as
this
the
is
generations continue that things are getting lighter.
It's not like you wouldn't see John go dark, would you? No.
What does this say for Cal? I mean, what's Cal going to be coming out with?
Oh, it'd be emo stuff, wouldn't it, Sean? Emo.
Surely there's a Dengate who can see positivity in the world and light.
Well, we hope not.
That doesn't make for good songs, does it?
It bears no comment.
Thank you both very much. It was wonderful as
Good on
always.
you, Sean.
Who can believe it?
Well, we might finish off with Bare-Legged Kate. No one's done that so far. Everyone can sing along.
Unless there's anyone else wants to do one before we've got a little bit of time. If anyone wants to do another one,
is that
a hand? I can see a hand.
Seamus, yeah.
Seamus. Here we go.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, just gotta unmute.
Can you hear? Yeah.
Yep.
Can you hear now?
Yes.
Yeah, I like the song of the sheet metal worker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, we can do that.
Is that okay? Yeah.
Of
You can
course,
hear?
yeah.
Is he
Right.
going to do it, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
I'll
He's gonna do it.
Yeah, oh, good.
When I was a boy in Carlingford, some 60 years ago, the eucalypts grew straight and tall, and the streaks they did sweetly flow. But times were hard when my father died, and the orchard would not pay. So I left the land for the factory bench, and I'm working there still today. I have earned my bread in the metal shops these 40 years and more. My hands are hard and acid scarred, like the boards on the workshop floor. My soul is sheathed in Kembla steel, and my eyelids have turned to brass. And the orchard's gone, and the apple trees, where the wind whispered through the grass. The workshop is my altar, where I come to take the host. Copper and brass and fine sheets too, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. The sacramental wine of word grows sour upon my tongue. Oh, the fruit was sweet on the apple tree when my brothers and I were young. That's it. Thank you.
I noticed nobody's done Bill from Erskineville.
I think at the start, did someone do it at the start?
I don't think so.
Am I
Actually,
dreaming that?
Lockie used to do it, but I had to chastise him one time down here down at the Diggers Club because he said, and you get $1.60 when you get 3 queens, and you don't. You only get $1.40. And I got him afterwards, and I spoke harshly to him about Buddy not knowing about what you used to get out of poker machines. It just meant he was too young.
Well, should we have Bill then? Maybe we need Bill now that he's been spoken of. You want to give it a go there, Russ?
Oh, no, I can't sing a note.
Ah, no.
Oh, no, everyone will go home straight away.
We can do, yeah, we can. Why don't we do Bill, and then we can
It's on the other side.
maybe the rowers could do bare-legged Kate, so that Dad and I can just do Bill.
Bill or Kate or you name it.
Yep, that'll be fine.
Okay, how's that? Well, we'll do Bill, and then you do bare-legged Kate, and then we can have a sign-off, and everyone can have a nice little rest.
Everyone can go to the dogs.
Yeah, the doggies. All right, so where are we? Can we see
Are we on?
Yep. Are we? Is
Is this
thing
on? Is this turned on?
Okay. And I'm
Pleased to meet ya. My name's Bill. I'm working in the factory in Erskineville. You have to crawl, conditions are a crime, but you get a few dollars worth of overtime. Hooray, ain't life grand? I'm saving the deposit on a block of land. I met a fella selling real estate. He's running from the coppers in another state. He's a friend of a generous gent, lending out money at 20%. Hooray, life's a lark. I'm swimming in the water with a finance shark. I had a couple of dollars on a short price horse, running in a welter on the Rose Hill course. But too much weight and too little pace, and the bugger finished 12th in a 12-horse race. Hooray, faithful nag, ferrying me money to the bookie's bag. I had a little flutter on the poker machines, and I won $1.40 when it paid 3 queens. So I chases the aces around the wheels. Now I can't afford the money to pay for meals. Hooray, feed the slot, push 'em on the button till you lose the lot. Oh, lottery tickets had me up shit creek. I was 20 off a $5 prize last week. The tyres on me cars are all worn through, and the registration's overdue. Hooray, hip hurrah, for a worn-out second-hand Holden car. I says to me wife, we've reached the stage where we cannot manage on a single wage. Now she pulls beer in the pub saloon, and the kids run wild of an afternoon. Hooray, name your brand. I'm drinking the deposit on a block of land. And I'm pleased to meet ya. My name's Bill. I've been sacked from the factory in Erskineville.
Oi!
Good on you, Johnny Dengate.
There's no factories in Erskineville anymore.
Oh, God, no.
That's right.
I'll tell you what, that's the lowest song. I don't even know if voice was coming out of me then. It was so low. He's
Well,
tricky.
At least you knew what you got when you paid 3 queens.
Oh, that's it.
That's right.
Okay, so we're going to hand over to Jason. and Chloe. They're going to take us out. And I'll just say thank you once again to everyone. And it's a pleasure every year. Hopefully, I would love at some point to make it happen in real life and online, because I feel like if we just go back to real life, a lot of people are going to miss out from around the country and around the world. So I don't really want for people to miss out. So we'll head over to Jason and Chloe, and then I might at the end try and share a video that Doug Jenna sent over. I had a bit of a problem with it earlier, but we'll go with the Roas if that's okay, and then I'll try and share that video. If it doesn't work out, we'll just finish up and I'll share the video later online. Thanks to Chloe and Jason.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. Lovely to see you. It's the only decent show on television. It's great. I love it.
Now, I've got a request. You're going to do a bit of Garcia?
I don't think Dengate would ever forgive me, would he?
No.
Oh, he loved the Grateful Dead.
I loved it.
Oh, the secret's out now. Is it closet?
Yeah. You ask Lockie, he'll tell you.
No, so I'm not doing Garcia. A few weeks doing the Grateful Dead's been like our long service leave. Eh? Right.
Bare-legged Kate with your natural grace, the big sad eyes in the Irish face, a poor bush girl when the summer is high in the stony hills of Gundagai. Bare-legged Kate, why do you weep when a man ride by with a travelling sheep? Does the sight of the drover make you sad? Do you think of the father you never had? Bare-legged Kate with your natural grace, the big sad eyes in the Irish face,
A poor bush girl when the summer is high in the stony hills of Gundagai.
Bare-legged Kate, why do you run down by the creek in the setting sun? Down where the eyes of the world cannot see. Run, Kate, run from poverty.
Bare-legged Kate with your natural grace, the big sad eyes in the Irish face, a poor bush girl when the summer is high in the stony hills of Gundagai.
Bare-legged Kate, there is gold in the hills, but you know that the cyanide process kills. It poisons the miners and cuts them down in the mean little homes below the town. Bare-legged Kate, when the floods come down, it's the poor on the creek are the ones who drown. When the great Murrumbidgee is thundering by through the haunted hills of Gundagai.
Bare-legged Kate with your natural grace, the big sad eyes in the Irish face, a poor bush girl when the summer is high in the stony hills of Gundagai.
lovely.
Thank
you so much.
Look
Beautiful.
forward to seeing
Not
you
as
in
good as Jerry
September.
Garcia, but up there.
Pretty good. All right, I'm going to try and share this beautiful song from Doug. We'll just give it a little go. If you can just bear with me one moment. All the way over from the
Today,
UK.
Joanna.
Oh, hello. Yep. You want to
How
say
you
something?
going,
Before you
Joanna?
do that, Jason, are you still there?
looking really, and Megan. Oh, Megan's grown up.
Yeah, they're enormous.
Yeah, I got big.
Yeah,
Sorry.
16.
You still there, Jason?
Where, mate?
Just a little story for you about Neil Young was being interviewed about how he used to do, he probably still does, 12-minute rambling jam songs.
Yeah, yes.
And the guy said to him, yeah, well, Grateful Dead did that long time before you. And Neil said, yeah, but we know what we're doing.
Garcia said something very wise about the Dead. He said, not everyone likes licorice, but if you like licorice, you really like licorice.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
That's really good. All right, now I'm going to try.
Megan, how old are you? Just about who can break in. How old are you now, Megan?
Ollie?
Oh, 16.
You had to think there for a minute.
Yeah.
I thought you were the same age as my grandson. I went to his birthday breakfast yesterday.
And this one is
11.
nearly 12.
Oh, is she?
Oh,
Yeah, you've grown up too.
But,
Yeah.
like, I'm smaller than you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
You're
that's
smaller
fair,
than me. That's fair.
Yeah, I'm
Pretty
smaller
much,
than
pretty
you.
much old enough to send them both down the coal mines, I think. But
Look, what do they say? No one wants to work, they say. No one wants to work.
including their mum and dad.
Yeah. And I'll send the link around.
Yep, that's a good idea.
Otherwise, it'll just all go a bit pear-shaped.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks again to everyone. And I just love seeing everyone's faces. And I'm so impressed that everyone can join us each year. And everyone knows what they're doing with this tech. I feel like you guys are better at Zoom than I am now. So it's been a pleasure. And hope to see you again next year. And hopefully we can do something in person. And for those of you going to the Folk Festival Day, enjoy that show. And if anyone can, there you go. There's the poster Margaret's got there. I'll just make that a bit bigger so everyone can see. Want to hold that up, Margaret? Look at that, beautiful. So that's the
Sunday
18th to
afternoon,
20th.
3 o'clock in the Gaelic Club.
There you go, beautiful. And if anyone wants to pop in before or after, you can come see Johnny Clough for his birthday. It's just around the corner, the Trinity Hotel. Wonderful. Okay,
And the
thanks,
Sunday
everyone.
afternoon is Johnny Clough's thing.
That's right, yeah.
Because you
So
just said Sunday afternoon, Margaret. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
2 till 5.
2 till 5. Amazing. Okay, thanks everyone, and thanks to the Dengates for letting us run this for you guys every year, and it's one of our most favorite things to do. Thanks to Max for always hosting, even though I end up talking over him 95% of the time.
Not enough.
Thank you,
Someone's
Max.
gotta do it,
Thank you, Lane.
Oh, look, someone's going to do it.
Thank you very
Good on you
much,
guys.
all of us down here on the South Coast.
Thanks, Russ.
Good on you, Russ.
Good on you,
Wonderful
guys.
job. I just love it.
Oh, thank you so much. We'll see you,
Thank you.
everyone. Stay safe and
see
see
all
everyone
the
next
old
time.
Thanks, Max.
Peace
Cheers.
out.
Well,
See you guys.